fantastic. Say, Sarah, while I switch guitars, how about telling one of your pun jokes?
Okay.
They're better than yours, Stephen.
I can
swear to
tell
God.
my favorite one is when I was in school, we did a stage production about puns. It was a play on words.
Oh my God, see, that's better than Stephen.
Pretty good, right?
Stephen, I'm sorry, Stephen. I vote for her.
We have real talent here today.
We have real talent.
I didn't make that up. Don't worry.
I won't tell you who told me this one, but it was Kaylee over on the piano. She said, "Why did the cow get a promotion? He was outstanding in his field."
I love
I'm glad that was your joke and not mine. All right, well, we're going to keep it rolling here. This is what a fantastic song. I never really paid as much attention to it until this month when we were learning it. And I bet you'll be able to sing along on this one because it's that kind of song. Here we go. From Till Tuesday. you very much. And now, if I could, I'll introduce our host, whatever, our MC of the day. How about that? We love her. We call her Brynda. Come on. Actually, it's down there today, Brynda. So we've got time for one more joke. Why did the frog have such a long face? He was unhappy.
Oh my gosh, seriously. We got to come up with.
I have no shame. All right, take it away, Brynda. I'm dying out here.
Welcome to Sunday Assembly Nashville. It is so good to see you guys this morning. So, we are a global secular movement for wonder and good. If you've never been, welcome. Let me tell you a little bit about Sunday Assembly. We meet to celebrate this one life we know we have. And we meet in groups throughout the world. Nashville is actually one of the largest assemblies, and we are very proud of what we do here. We survived through the pandemic, through the efforts of a lot of people to keep doing those assemblies, even though they were online. And now, we are rebuilding. So we've got some exciting stuff to announce today, but I'm going to hold that for later. Our motto, I think, sums up who we are. We are a community that believes in trying to live better, wonder more, and help often, right? Those are some good pillars to build your life on. I want to live a better life. I want to wonder more, assume I don't have all the answers, and I want to try to help others. So, welcome today. Do we have any new folks? I promise we won't do anything terrible. We just like to know, yay! For new folks, we try to count. Yay, welcome those of you who are new, and equally welcome to those of you who are returning. Alrighty, so, one last thing about Sunday Assembly. I found a reworking of something we said, so those of you who've not heard this before, I'll be interested in talking to you later if anybody has any feedback about using this instead of what we've traditionally used, which is we are radically inclusive. So I found a new one online on Sunday Assembly, the national, and it said, we want every Sunday Assembly to be a place of compassion where no matter what your situation, you are welcomed. So, I kind of like that, right? Okay. All righty. So, October is designated, little unhappy frog. October is designated Domestic Violence Awareness Month. And today, we are honoring those who have been hurt by domestic violence by learning more about domestic violence. So we have a speaker today, but I wanted to because look, we can't do justice to this topic, right? This is a big topic. We could have a 3-day conference on domestic violence and not do justice to the topic. So I'm going to encourage you to think about maybe a slightly different perspective. One of the things that humans tend to do is when we think about topics like domestic violence, we tend to other, right? That happens to other people. That is a totally separate thing. It is black and white. And it's not. Right? I want us to think about people who end up in domestic violence situations are humans, just like the rest of us. People who commit domestic violence are humans, just like the rest of us. If we other it, it's almost like with racism. If we think about racism only as people belonging to the KKK, that is the tiniest fraction. that doesn't help us as much as thinking about, oh, how have I had behaviors, or what behaviors have I seen that are on that continuum of unhealthy relationships, where at the end of that continuum there's a gray area where we would say, oh, that is clearly domestic violence. But are there unhealthy behaviors? You know, are there times that you have seen or heard or done? You know, I'm not a hitter, quite frankly, because I'm weak and puny, but I can have a mean mouth, right? That's not healthy. I know I have said unhealthy things. How can I think about that and about taking care of my own inner world? Because it's hard to be a human. It's just hard. It's hard to be a human. And we act out our pain sometimes. And sometimes we let other people act out their pain. So, maybe this isn't a so black and white kind of topic. All right, so we might return to that, but just a thought I wanted to leave you with. So we are going to start, as always, with readings, and today we are lucky enough that we have 2 readers. The first reader is Remington Reynolds. Come on up here. And Remington will be reading some of his own poetry.
I have not had a name for this poem yet. It's been a poem that I've read a bunch but have not yet named or had a title to. When I was a kid, I was supposed to be having fun. I was supposed to be in the sun, but I wasn't. I was in my room with you. It felt like a palace because I didn't have a clue. You weren't who I thought you were. You asked the question, oh, I hate the question, but I never had a say. You always got your way, but not today. I have found my voice, and it is my choice. You will silence me no more. I will scream and shout, and you cannot stop me. This next poem is called Better Together. You did not make me stronger. I did. Other people were out there living their lives while I hid from your terrible lies. I tried to give hints about the things going on under that roof, but nobody heard my cries. I was very young when it all started. I was 7 when my parents first parted. I'm 13 now. And I think about all that time, the time that I spent under that roof, in that room. But you know what? I'm still alive. And it may have been a bumpy ride, but I survived. No, I thrived. You can too. You can make it through. The pain is only temporary. It's okay to need support. It does get better, and with each other's help, we can all shine together. Thank you.
Thank you so much. All right, Melissa, you have to follow that. I am so sorry, because that's a tough act to follow. Melissa Cook is going to be reading one of our favorite poets, Maya Angelou, Still I Rise.
Excuse me. You may write me down in history with your bitter, twisted lies. You may trod me in the very dirt. Like dust, I'll rise. Does my sassiness upset you? Why are you beset with gloom? 'Cause I walk like I've got oil wells pumping in my living room. Just like moon and like suns, with certainty of tides, just like hope springing high, still I'll rise. Did you want to see me broken? Bowed head and lowered eyes, shoulders falling down like teardrops, weakened by my soulful cries. Does my haughtiness offend you? Don't you take it awful hard, 'cause I laugh like I've got gold mines digging in my own backyard. You may shoot me down with your words, you may cut me with your eyes, you may kill me with your hatefulness, but still, like air, I'll rise. Does my sexiness upset you? Does it come as a surprise that I dance like I've got diamonds at the meeting of my thighs? Out of the huts of history's shame I rise, up from a passage rooted in pain I rise. I am a black ocean leaping and wide, welling and swelling I bear the tide. Leaving behind nights of terror and fear, I rise. Into the daybreak that's wondrously clear, I rise. Bringing the gifts that my ancestors gave, I am the dream and the hope of the slave. I rise, I rise, I rise.
All right, so this morning we have the honor of having a speaker from Thistle Farms, which is a Nashville institution I'm excited we get to learn more about today. Our speaker today is Kim Stevens, and she is a wonderfully strong survivor leader at Thistle Farms. In addition to being a 2015 graduate of the residential program, she is now the manager of the shop at Thistle Farms. While being responsible for her team of 5, she knows how to cultivate strong, lasting relationships with her team and coworker and brings joy to each customer she meets. We're going to have a video first that introduces Thistle Farms, and then we will welcome Kim Stevens to the mic.
Human trafficking, prostitution, and addiction are real threats to our city. Thistle Farms has been serving women who survived these traumas, hoping to change the course of their lives, not only here in Nashville, but also in 29 other states. News Channel 5's Claire Kopsky takes us to their headquarters as they celebrate a big milestone.
For the past 25 years, Thistle Farms has been serving up meals and products to give back to the women they serve.
Thistle Farms is a global movement for women's healing.
We believe that love heals, and we are committed to helping women who have been victim of commercial sexual exploitation find a place of healing.
The world has changed in those 25 years, and we have to grow and change to meet the new needs.
They've grown to have 550 beds, more than 30 global partners, new products, a new production facility, and a fresh look, all while keeping their mission the same.
It fills a gap in our community, and our sister agencies and our affiliates fill that same gap in their community. We provide 2 years of free housing, therapy, and support for women who are coming off the streets who've been left behind.
Those women receive tailored support at Thistle Farms, something their founder and president, Becca Stevens, says has paid off.
I believe that working with small groups of women makes a huge difference. When you really put a holistic approach to their financial needs, their mental health needs, their physical needs, their recovery needs, all of it, you can change lives, and that changes whole families, it changes systems, it changes the laws.
That approach has helped 156 women like Letitia Burns through the restorative program since 1997.
If I hadn't found this program, I would be dead. Like, I would literally be dead or in a mental institution.
She joined the program in 2011, graduated in 2013, and now is a shop assistant at their store on Charlotte Pike.
I went through the muck and the mud. God brought me out, and that now I'm introduced to a whole lot of opportunities that I never would have got introduced to before I came to this program. So life is great, and this is a program that seriously does what it says. It literally changed lives, because it's changed mine.
Like so many of those in Thistle Farms' dining room and shop, Letitia's life is on a new path.
This is a generational curse breaker for me. 5-6 years ago, I wouldn't have believed it. I wouldn't have believed it, and I'm still in shock. I'm still in awe about it.
Awe, that's part of this organization's larger healing story.
There's all kinds of ways that cities brand themselves and market themselves, and I think after 25 years, we are a part of Nashville's story, and we are a part of saying Nashville knows how to love and care for one another, especially women who have been neglected.
In Nashville, Claire Kopsky, News Channel 5.
Wow. Kim, if you want to come up here, welcome Kim Stevens.
Good morning. Like she said, I'm a 2015 graduate of the program. Just listening to, first off, where's that baby that read those poems? I'm in awe. I'm in awe. But as I was listening to you all, it brought back some memories for me. And imagine getting your tooth knocked out because your mate comes home and you have collard greens and sweet potatoes and meatloaf in the oven and he didn't want to smell it. I mean, you know, seriously. He didn't want to smell it, and, you know, I got abused for that. And I hadn't thought about that in years until today. And it also made me think about how, you know, we get broken when we're younger, and it's like we're looking for something in someone, and you see this shiny, you know, like a shiny new toy, but behind that toy is, it's not good. You know, it's not what it's said it's supposed to be. So here comes the domestic violence, and like she said, it comes in physical, mental, and emotional abuse, and I've suffered them all. But so I can remember my mother telling me about Thistle Farms, and I was thinking, well, you know, back then it was like it's for prostitutes, and I was like, well, I really didn't prostitute myself, but, you know, she was like, well, I think this program can really help you, because in the midst of my abuse, then you turn to alcohol and drugs to try to, you know, numb the pain. So that was my case. So she would just hear all these amazing things about Thistle Farms. So when I finally decided to go, because, you know, I started going to jail because of my drug abuse and kept getting with different partners that, you know, either verbal or mental abuse or physical abuse. So I went to jail, and the judge let me out to go to a rehab. And they were like, well, you need long-term care. And I was like, well, okay, maybe I need it. So I went to rehab, and it was a girl there from Thistle Farms that she had relapsed, and she was like, well, it's time for the graduation. Why don't you just come to the graduation and see what it's all about? So I went to the graduation, and to this day, I still can't explain the feeling that I got when I walked in that graduation. It was like, you know, they didn't want to know what was wrong with me. You know, what happened and how can we help you is all they wanted to know. The love that I felt, I knew that that's where I was supposed to be. I knew. So it was still a process for me, myself, during the 2 years, because like they say, they provide all the housing for us, the mental care, the therapy, which I still go to today, and I'm 8 years in, and they still provide therapy for me. Each woman's case is different, so like they say, each, you know, it's tailor-made to fit that woman, whether it be dental, medical, mental health, whatever, it's tailor-made for that woman. So, you know, I started going to therapy and started to realize that, you know, I started to get a little bit more self-worth. And that all came because of the love of Thistle Farms. I came in really shy. I'm somewhat of an introvert. Well, no, I'm a lot of an introvert, but I mean, honestly, I don't care for people too much. You know, I love people. Don't get me wrong. I love people, but it's like after I leave here today, I won't do anything else. I'll probably just stay in my room, eat, and, you know, I get really mentally drained. And I've been like that. I can remember being like that since I was a little girl. But being at Thistle Farms and the people that come in, the people that work there, I don't even have words to explain the love and the goodness that Thistle Farms provides. It has totally changed my life, and I don't think that, I know I wouldn't change my life, not one bit, not one piece of, trips to jail, the domestic violence, anything. I wouldn't change anything because of the person that I am today because of Thistle Farms. The vision that Becca had, and it comes from her own abuse as a child, she knew that women needed help, and we needed help fast. And it was just a small group of them, and they decided, we've got to do something to help these women. And they provided everything that we needed. I mean, everything, down to, like, I threw my teeth away the other day, y'all. I wear partials, and, they're gonna give me new partials. They provide everything for us. We get our children back. We get to travel the world and talk about the mission. We get to meet all kind of beautiful people. We get to tell women that need our help. They come to us, and you'll be surprised after we speak. Sometimes people will come up and they're like, it's somebody just like me. How did you do it? And then I tell them, and then it's just a genuine goodness that Thistle Farms brings to our community. And I find that, like I say, I'm the shop manager. People come in. I've met so many people that travel cross country, and they hear about Thistle Farms, and like Thelma and Louise, and those type people. They come in, and they just want to come in and get the experience at Thistle Farms. If you all haven't been, I encourage you to come. The food is fabulous. Come by, help support our mission. We have like maybe 40 or 50 women currently in the program and working at Thistle Farms. You get to meet the women. You can take a tour. Anything, just anything. And if you all have any questions or anything about Thistle Farms, I'm more than welcome to answer them. Anybody have any questions about anything? No?
I have one.
Okay.
How big is the residential program?
Oh, Jesus. So right now, we just opened a brand new house that houses 8 more women. We have one house that houses 9. I say maybe about roughly 30 women currently in the program, but we have close to 200 graduates. And one of the first 5 graduates in 1997, she's still involved with Thistle Farms. She travels the world with Becca. They just left from Ukraine. No, I'm sorry, not Ukraine, Poland, to go help the Ukrainian refugees because they need help. Their husbands are over there fighting. So Becca was like, we have got to help these women. So they are knitting socks now, and we're selling them for them. So we go around the country selling the socks. I just left Austin, Texas with Becca, and we took 18 pairs of socks, and we ended up selling, one person bought 87 pair of socks. So we took pre-orders for socks, but it was only 87 pairs. But, and it's all to help women in the Ukrainian women. We also have a global partnership that's called Love Welcomes, and the women, Syrian refugees, make welcome mats, and they make them out of the vest and the blankets that they receive when they get off the boat. Becca went and saw that it littered the streets, and she was like, we have got to help these women. They were living in such poor conditions. So she got some weavers, I think from Alabama or somewhere, and they took a loom, and they stayed over there about a month and figured out a way to make mats. So we also sell those mats for the women. Now, they didn't have spices for their food. You know, just the little things that we take for granted, the ladies didn't have. They didn't have, the kids can get to school. They didn't have medical care. Now with us selling the mats for them, they're able to take a bus twice a week into town to get small things like spices and soaps, and the kids are able to go to the dentist and the doctor, and they've started a little school in the camp for the children. So, and all of this comes from Becca's vision, you know, Thistle Farms. So it started here in Nashville, like she says, and we're just a global. We just opened up a sister org in Belize, and she sent us pictures with the 3 women that are in the home that have been trafficked in Belize, and that has been open for about a month now. We have partnerships in Mexico, Africa, Greece, Poland, did I say Ecuador? Ecuador. Oh, we've got a lot of different, and in China, we have the Starfish Project, Honduras, we've got a lot of different organizations which are men and women that have been abused or domestically assaulted or trafficked. Like we're global, and it's a wonderful program. Mm-hmm.
Wonderful speaker. I've been to the restaurant. It's a wonderful place. My tough question is, are there expectations of women in the program to be part of religious service?
No, sir. No, sir. That is not who we are.
Thank you very much.
No.
I can imagine that if you're in a position like you once were, that it's hard to make a step away from that. Does Thistle Farms arm you guys with tools to both recognize people who might be too timid to make that break, and with tools on how to guide them the best way out of a condition like that?
Yes.
What could I look for in other words, or what could we look for?
So, yes, and it's like, you know, once you've been there, you automatically can, just talking with someone 1 minute, I can tell. I can tell because I am that person. So, yes, they do. We have, I just did a trauma-informed care training last week. We have those a lot. So I have a little lady that comes in that her husband abuses her, but he doesn't physically abuse her, but he mentally and emotionally abuses her. And she sat at my desk and she told me all about it. And she said, and that's why I come here, because I need to be around good people and I need to get away from him. What can I do? I just said, just keep coming, you know, just keep coming. And we have all kind of resources that we give to people. If people feel like we're a fit for them, they can go through our program. If they don't want to stay in Nashville, they can anonymously go to one of the sister orgs, and they never have to worry about anybody telling them where they are, or even if they want to stay at ours, and you come and say, is Kim here? They can't tell you if I'm there or not. You know, I'm not sure, but maybe I can take a message. And, you know, I could be in the bathroom or anywhere. That's just not what we do. But, yes, they do give us tools. It was very hard. But the thing about Thistle Farms, I can say, and that's the reason she chose the thistle, because we come in, and then we come in prickly. You know, when we go through our situations, we get kind of rough around the edges. But then once you get to Thistle Farms and they start loving on you until you can love yourself, then we turn into that soft little fuzzy purple flower on the inside. It's a beautiful transformation to watch. I have watched so many women come in like that and get the tools, and you just watch them change right before your eyes. Just right before you. It is absolutely beautiful. And I was just telling them, I'm in a season in my life I'm learning my feelings now. I was either good or bad, happy or sad. Nothing in between. Oh God, I cried the drop of a dime now, and I'm starting to realize what I feel in my body. And that's because of the tools that they have given me and working with my therapist and my sponsor, and I'm learning so many things about myself and why I felt I had to be in the situations that I was in and why I had to stay in those situations. So I'm able to tell someone else, look, my experience, that you don't have to do this. Are you feeling like this? Are you feeling like, you don't have to stay. So yeah, they give us that. Yes.
Bear with me as I try to get these words out properly.
That's okay.
Do you offer sponsorship and therapy outside of the residential? Like for somebody to come in and help without actually living there for fear of getting out of their situation currently?
So, let me see if I'm understanding you. Say somebody walks in and they're in a situation, and you're wondering if we have resources we can refer someone to?
Just any kind of help that you can give someone without living there.
Yes, we try to do that. It's not they might not fund it, but we most definitely. And we've gone even so far to, if somebody comes in needing help, I personally told my boss that I have to be back, that I need to take this lady to mental health co-op, or I need to take her, away, wherever she needed to go. And I've actually done that while I've been on the clock and told her she's like, do you know this lady? No, she just came in, but she needs help. So we tend to do that. Yeah. You're welcome.
Kim, thank you
You're welcome.
so much for speaking.
Thank you.
Wow, what an amazing organization. I thought I knew more about it. I had no idea how huge it is. That is just amazing. And I want to steal Love Heals. I want to make that part of our motto too. Isn't that the best? Alrighty, so it is time for our moment of mindfulness, and that will be followed by the band. So band, I will let you guys close out the moment of mindfulness.
one second. In the run-up to this program today, as we were choosing songs, it was brought to my attention that domestic violence and child abuse are not necessarily the same thing, but I did a little research on that, and they often do go hand in hand. So this selection today kind of represents the other side of the fence, not so much domestic violence, but the child abuse portion.
In the dark, so you can't see their tears. They hide in the light, so you can't see their fears. Forgive and forget all the while. Love and pain become one and the same in the eyes of a wounded child, because hell is for children, and you know that their little lives can become such a mess. Hell is for children, and you shouldn't have to pay for your love with your bones and your flesh. No, it's all so confusing, this brutal abusing. They blacken your eyes and then apologize. Daddy's good girl, don't tell mommy a thing. Be a good little boy and you'll get a new toy. Tell grandma you fell from the swing, because hell is for children, and you know that their little lives can become such a mess. Hell is for children, and you shouldn't have to pay for your love with your bones and your flesh. Hell is for children. Hell is for children. Hell is for children. Hell is for children. Hell is for children.
Beautiful job, girls. Thank you.
Today we have not one, but two trying my best. First is going to be Chris McKee. Please welcome her. Oh, I should say for the newbies, come on. Trying My Best is the portion of our assembly where we ask community members to tell us a story, tell us of a time that is important in their lives that relates to the theme that perhaps they were doing their best, or at least trying their best. All right, Chris.
Sorry, I'm a little shorter than she is. I'll try to get through this without tears. No guarantees. I tried my best for over 15 years. It always starts small. I was roped in emotionally, married young. We met in high school. Traditional gender roles were established within our home. Arguments about everything. I was always the one wrong. Things escalated pretty quickly. He convinced me that we should have a child, that would fix things. Arguments escalated. He got in my face. I packed to leave while pregnant, and he held me hostage in our apartment. Punched through a glass door. I called the cops. Then he took my phone. He promised them that he'd let me leave, but he didn't. They left anyways. First child was born, and my husband brought video games and card games to the hospital while I was being induced. He played them in my room on the hospital room TV, was not by my side. He was there, but he wasn't with me. Continuing on after that, I tried to make the most out of it. Childcare was my job. I tried to go back to school, but childcare was still my job regardless. The house, everything, any property had to be in his name. Mine wasn't allowed on it. He coerced me about a year and a half later to try for child number 2. He didn't coerce me. He raped me. And I couldn't complete school because I was having a child. I was in the hospital during finals. He very quickly wanted to try for number 3, to try for a girl. And within 4 years and 19 days, I had 3 kids. I made the call with my doctor at that point to tie my tubes so I couldn't have any more kids during a C-section for my last. He wasn't happy about that. Things escalated yet again during and after the birth of that 3rd child, and at 9.5 months pregnant, a couple of weeks before kiddo was born, he pinned me to a wall. I pushed him off, and he punched me in the stomach, leaving bruises from his knuckles that I had to lie about to my doctor. He isolated me, made me stay home with the kids unless I was in class. I tried again to go back to school. I had to trade favors for him to babysit so I could have time for homework or to even go to an event with my own sister. And after moving an hour and a half away from family, it escalated again. I was shoved into walls, pushed down a flight of stairs for trying to help my child that he went after in a fit of anger. The kids were punished with things such as eating hot sauce, hit with a leather belt, locked in the basement with the lights off because it would cure their fear of the dark. He'd make them stand on Hot Wheels cars for timeouts, or on the bottom of a milk crate that was upended. In 2016, that was the year I got brave and had enough. With no money, no lawyer, nothing to my name, I couldn't even take the kids with me because he said I couldn't provide. I left. I walked out and left. I had to leave my babies. 2017, I was able to get a lawyer, and I fought and got 50-50 custody. The following year in 2018, the kids divulged during visits that their dad had been mistreating them, including them getting slapped, my then 12-year-old getting punched in the face, and my youngest being inappropriately touched by dad. I took the kids and I ran another hour and a half away after he threatened to end me for withholding visits because of what my kids told me. I slept on my sister's dining room floor with 3 children for weeks until we were able to find an apartment on our own. No criminal charges were ever filed. The county he lived in deemed there was not enough physical evidence to prosecute him. They did limit his visitations to supervised visitations, but it wasn't mediated. It could be just any family member there. Then, 4 years of arguments in survival mode on my part. We land at 2022 in 3 states, 3 cities, 7 hours, and 430 miles, and it still doesn't feel like enough some days. But I'm rediscovering my true self with the support of many wonderful people in my life now, and I'll continue to try my best, always.
Wow. All righty. Now I'd like to welcome JoJo Lawrenson to do our second Try My Best today.
I apologize for my tears. No, I don't. Because tears are allowed. Tears are okay. I grew up with a mother who loved me. She still loves me. I grew up with a mother who any disagreement, any contrariness on my part was met with yelling, with fists against the wall, with ignoring, with dismissing. That was started when I was 14. I'm now 34, and I'm still going through it because I'm forced to live with my parents due to financial inability to live on my own. It's really hard to talk about this, but I know that people need to know emotional abuse is a thing, and it hurts just as much as physical. It leaves scars that can't be cured. I've been diagnosed with borderline personality disorder, and if it hadn't been for the abuse my mother gave me, I don't think I would have ever had that diagnosis. I have an inability to connect with people. I have an inability to be honest about my feelings because I worry once more any contrariness, any disagreement will lose me friends, will lose me family. And I'm trying my best now without therapy to overcome those fears. Because I'm stronger than that. I can withstand her. I'm an adult. I'm not her child anymore. And I've yet to confront her over this because I don't know how. So it continues. She takes my money without asking, or if she asks, it's phrased as asking, but it's a command. I know I can't say no. If I get upset, I had a panic attack last week, and her way of helping me was to ignore me and sternly say, go to bed. I have mental illnesses because of her. I have mental illnesses because of my chemical balance in my brain. And she doesn't see that. I tell her how to help me, and she doesn't help. So I try my best to handle it alone. And maybe one day I'll be able to confront her about it and bring it up. But today's the first day I've ever talked about it to more than just one friend at a time. So I'm trying my best to spread the word and let people know emotional abuse is a thing. They can say they love you and still hurt you. They can say, respect me, give me your love, and you have no choice. So I try my best every day just to get through the day. Thank you.
That was some amazing bravery. Love heals, but it's not quick, and it's not easy. But I hope everyone here knows, right, that we are a community. That's the most important thing we do. I mean, we love the singing and the dancing and the songs, but it's really, really about having a community. A place where we can be ourselves, where we can say, sometimes I'm not lovable, but I want to be loved anyway. So, thank you all for being here. We're going to switch gears a little bit because it's time for announcements. But again, thank you all for being part of this. All right. So, let's start with announcements. Patrick is giving me a thumbs up. Yay, what's on the screen? Oh, what's on the screen is our t-shirt designs. So, we are designing new t-shirts, and they're going to be available for ordering in October, and then you're going to pick them up in November at our November Assembly. And anyone who can't pick them up then will make arrangements. So we need to figure out what design we want. So here are our two contenders. On the right, I Believe in Good. This also is the window cling design, but this would be on a t-shirt, right? Sunday Assembly Nashville under it. And then we have our second contender, color, don't pay attention to color, just the graphics. Not sure yet exactly what company we're going to be used, and will we have different options for colors, so just ignore the graphics. Just ignore the colors. All right, so what do we want to do? Applause? Let's try applause. Everyone who would like to see our new t-shirt design be I Believe in Good, applaud. Everyone who would like for it to be the one on the left, the Sunday Assembly Nashville with the microphone and the Atheist A, applaud. Oh. Let's do that again because I wasn't clear. It looks like I Believe in Good is our winner. Yay! All righty. So that one is designed by a combo of Jeannie Butte and Stephen Phelps. Stephen was the, I Believe in Good with the song, and he was the one who suggested we do a smiley face, and then Jeannie made it happen. So both of them will get free t-shirts and the love and respect of their community. Yay. All righty, what other announcements do we have? Let's have Stephen come up and announce something, and then Dawn, you are next. And while he is coming up here, we're going to talk about finances. Is the finance slide next? And we have one more announcement before that? Okay, all right, well, I'll turn it over to Stephen. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Well, we've got a good bit of room still left in this room here, don't we? And, that kind of makes it feel a little less intimate than we would prefer. So we've had some people suggest that we go back to a venue that we've used before where we'll be a little more together. We'll feel that togetherness. So we're going to be going back to East Park Community Center. For those of you, thank you, that have been around, you know where that is, and it's called the Black Box Theater. And we'll be able to put the band down on the floor, so we'll just be feet away from you. And the chairs are not stuck in place like this, so if you want to move them out and dance or something like that, we can arrange that to suit our needs in there. That'll be happening in November. So it'll be on the meetup page. It's just to give you an idea, it's centrally located as well. It's just off I-24, right over by where the Titans play. So November, look for that meetup. We're also going to change the time of day that we meet. We had suggestions about that too. People said, man, I have to get up so early to make it to Sunday Assembly. And I see some nodding heads back there even now. Well, for me, us old folks, we would get up early. That would be fine. We'll probably wake up early anyway. But for all the rest of you who don't necessarily get up when the chickens do, you'll get to sleep in a little bit. We're going to start at 5 in the afternoon. So that'll be an evening thing. We'll still do potluck right there at the venue, and it's going to be so easy because the rooms are adjacent to each other. You just walk out of one room and you're in there in potluck just like that. So those are the two big things. Back to the Black Box Theater and change in time to the afternoon. Look for that on Meetup and our other media outlets. Yes, sir. Wouldn't be the 5th because it's going to be the 2nd November, second Sunday. As we didn't change that part. I didn't see that in there, but thank you for catching that. All right, thanks.
Okay. We also have Patrick with an announcement, and then Stephen Cook. Come on up, y'all. Line up. If anybody else, Don, come on and line up. Line up by the microphone. Arm wrestle. I don't care.
Hey, everybody. Have two announcements that are not on your program today. Number one is a former speaker of Sunday Assembly, which is Dave Warnock. Just found out he is going to be coming and doing a reading from his tour, from his book at there at Caliber Coffee. It's this Thursday, so come check that out if you'd like, and there's more information about that on meetup.com. The next slide is that we've been talking for a while about having an event that is kind of like to break up the month. In other words, this is the second Sunday of the month, but what we're talking about is going to be a cafe conversation that is going to be 2 weeks from now on the 19th, the first one. And basically this is a conversation about, okay, so whether you have left religion or never had religion as part of your life, where do we go from here? What does it mean to be a good person? What does it mean to be living your best life, trying your best? And how can we all come together and talk about like new secular humanism, morality, all these things, what does that conversation look like? So if you would like to be a part of this conversation, again, more information is on Meetup, and it'll be on the 19th. Thank you.
All right, well, it's that time of year again. We're coming into the holiday season, so we'll be hosting Thanksgiving at our house as usual. I don't have the meetup yet, but I will get it up there. With the pandemic still kind of looming in the background, we'll probably still limit it a little bit more than normal. But I'll do the bird, I'll do a few other things, and we'll do potluck for sides. But watch Meetup for notification. Hopefully today or tomorrow I'll get that put up there for you guys. Thanks.
My lack of grace hits again. Okay, well, it's time to announce it's an election time. It's time for elections for the Sunday Assembly Board, which I am a member of, and I am charged with being in charge of this year's election. There's 3 two-year terms that are coming up. And it's kind of meaningful to me because I cannot overstate just how important Sunday Assembly Nashville has been to me since I moved here 6 years ago. It doesn't seem like it's been that long ago, and I wound up being so comfortable, feeling at home with this community. Brynda said something earlier that I kind of related to, that there's not so much black and white in this world. And I can find that I can relax. I don't have to be perfect. I don't have to say, if I am not 100% this, then I'm 100% wrong. I can be open and relaxed and honest with you all, and that means a lot to me. I've gotten to points in this community which has eventually led to me serving on the board. Who would have thunk it? So I'm just enthusiastic about this community, and that's kind of what we're looking for. We've got 3 positions open, 2-year terms. We're looking for people who are enthusiastic. We're looking for people who, if you've served on any of our committees or any leadership position, if you've served on a committee with another nonprofit, if you've been on the board before, I enthusiastically encourage you to apply to be a member of the board for the next 2-year terms. Get in touch with me through Facebook, Workplace, message me privately. If you need my phone number, you can text me, that's fine too. The deadline for application for the board is October 30th. We'll have the election and announce the results at the November Assembly. Thanks.
What a great segue to November Assembly. So November Assembly is going to be exciting. It's our anniversary, which means there's cake. Which means, oh my gosh, we are here still and going strong after all these years. So the theme is going to be gratitude. I think it's going to be a great assembly. So looking forward to seeing everybody there. You see the insert, Middle Ground is starting again. You heard about the other things that are going on. There's also a cleanup, Copper Creek. Everything is on Meetup. There's going to be another Shelby Park potluck. So we've got a lot of things coming up, a lot of events coming up. All righty, so this is a nonprofit, and we run by volunteers, and volunteers and a nonprofit means donations. So some of us are contributing donors, so if you see somebody, we're just... Some of us have already donated. If anyone chooses to donate today at the assembly, there are hats going around. Where there are people together, there are requests for money, something like that. Lori put it much better. All right, so we're going to do that. The band just, heck, how did they appear up there? They're behind me, aren't they? All right, the band is going to play us out, and then all the way down the hall, potluck. Yay, we get to have potluck this time. There is food. Jamie went and picked up chicken tenders this morning. We have vegan food. We have food. Yay, come join us. If you didn't bring food, don't worry about it. There's food. Please join us anyway. Okay.
Okay, we're going to liven it back up a little bit here.
Yeah.
Liven it back up. It's dance time. Yeah, I lost it. I'm not here. Okay, good. Be a good time to say a thank you to the band for the hard work they put in this month. In fact, not just the band, but everybody. So I'm going to introduce them before we do kind of
Stephen is the band.
almost
I mean,
our
part of the band. Please,
it's
can we just
almost
give
our
him a
last
hell?
song. It's not quite our last song, but right here on the front, H-Bomb Heather Kinley singing for you. Sarah Cho over there. A brand new fantastic arrival on the keyboards over here, Kaylee Miller. And back here, holding us all together, Chris Shannon on the drums.
Our heartbeats.
It wouldn't be possible if we didn't have the knob-twisting genius back there of Jason Panks. And we wouldn't look near as good on film if we didn't have the man behind the curtain, Josh Brown, over here, operating the video equipment.
Can I ask just to give Kaylee another heck yeah, because she's new and she just jumped in first time. I think she rocked it.
Yes.
So just saying.
So we are going to do a couple more. One of them, I think this could just be our theme song, actually, but we kind of have a theme song. So we could make it two theme songs today. And we're going to feature our new member, Kaylee, on both keyboards and vocals on this one. It's called Afterlife. Thank you. Well, we believe in the afterlife after all, don't we, with a song like that. Okay, this has kind of become our theme song, and hey, it showed up on the T-shirt design, so we sing it all the time. Right after this, we can dismiss and go down for the potluck, which hits way down the hall. You'll work up an appetite just getting there, but if you go out like you're going to leave the building, but take a right and go about 3 miles down the corridor, then you'll find the potluck on your right down there in the cafeteria. So sing it with us. You should know it by now. I believe in good. Thank you. We'll see you at potluck.
Listen to that.